Hey, so I'm really, really excited. I just opened, actually it's been like half an hour, but I just opened my copy of Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare, and I'm really, really excited. I've been waiting as long as everybody else, I guess, for this book. Well, maybe not as long, because I just read The Mortal Instruments and The Infernal Devices last month, so I'm kind of newer to everything, or in the last few months, I don't know, last 6 months, something like that. Anyway, I've read the both series a couple times now, and I was actually just about to reread this book, City of Heavenly Fire, which is kind of perfect because I'm about to start Lady Midnight, and I'm just so excited. I actually let out a scream when I opened the box, seriously. That's how excited I get about books. So the great thing, well, okay, I just wanted to say a few things about City of Heavenly Fire and how we've been waiting for this new book and everything, and a couple of things that I was thinking about that we're waiting to find out about. And I guess if you had certain editions, which has the letter about Mark Blackthorne offering to return him to the Clave if they will give help to the fairies who are having, I guess, some deaths. They've had some murders happen to some of their people. And of course, at the end of the war, Sebastian's War, they did these sanctions against the fairies. They said they weren't going to look for Mark Blackthorne, and they sent Helen all the way to Wrangel Island, which I think is in Russia or something like that, as kind of a way to make sure that she, kind of a punishment really, because she's half fairy and they don't trust her, which is ridiculous because she fought on the side of the Shadow Hunters. Shadow Hunter blood is predominant, but they don't have any fairies that they can punish really, so they're kind of taking it out on her and her brother Mark, who's been taken by the Wild Hunt. Now, Gia Penhallow promised that they were going to look for Mark when Emma came to her with some information. She lied, and that was really awful too. So the Clave also decided they weren't going to do anything about Mark Blackthorne being in the Wild Hunt. They just left him to his fate, even though he's half Shadow Hunter. And Shadow Hunter blood is supposed to breed true, in other words, or it's supposed to be dominant. So it's kind of ridiculous for the Clave to take this attitude, but we haven't heard about anything like that before, so it's a little bit ridiculous. These children were brought up as Shadow Hunters. They fought, Mark obviously didn't ask to be taken by the Wild Hunt. He thought his whole family was dead, which is why he accepted or said it was okay, or, gave his promise to go with Meliorn, or, sorry, his name isn't Meliorn, but the head of the Wild Hunt, the fairy that's the head of the Wild Hunt. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Suppose I could look it up. But it's just ridiculous. Yeah, here we go. My brother may not have been wise in his dalliances, but all records show that the children of Shadow Hunters are Shadow Hunters. As they say, ut incepit fidelis sic permanent. And it means she begins loyal and ends loyal, apparently. Which, that's a Shadow Hunter saying. And, it's ridiculous. So they post Helen on Wrangel Island. So there's that. Then we also have to wonder what's going on with Ty, who is obviously very different, maybe autistic or something like that. That's kind of how it seemed to me. So what's going to happen as Ty gets older? Is he going to catch the attention of the Clave? Are they going to have to hide him from the Clave because he's different and they don't like anybody who's different? Stuff like that, And I guess we're joining Emma when she's older, so, as old as Clary was when we started with City of Bones, 16, I think. So that's exciting to catch up with Emma. And I guess, from what I understand, Emma and Julian or Emma loves Julian or something, but they're parabatai, and there's a big taboo about parabitae falling in love with each other. It's not allowed. So I guess they're going to address that, or Cassie's going to address that, which is good because I was kind of wondering about that. That seems like a really dumb thing to overlook by the Shadowhunters in the past. I mean, it seems kind of logical that parabitae who are so close might, you know, fall in love with each other, and if it's never, I mean, it's obviously happened before, and people have been banished, and, you know, all kinds of stuff like that, and it sounds really awful, and it really seems like one of those, the law is hard, but it is the law things that it really needs to change. And you're not supposed to question the clave, because if you do, you're like Valentine, but obviously, you know, we're questioning the clave quite a bit. So, anyway, so there's all these things that are up in the air. I'm really wondering how it's going to go. I guess maybe I'll just post this video first, and then the ones where I'm actually reading the book. I'm going to try to just check in as I'm reading and give my impressions as I go along, or when I come to something that's really exciting, you know, I'll try to say something about it. Oh, so thank you so much for joining me. I don't know if you've read the Mortal Instruments or the Infernal Devices series, but they're incredible books, and I really, really recommend them. And now we have a new book, which is exciting. So thank you so much for joining me. Remember to embrace the darkness. Good night.